steady, let no resignation our spirit betray.
More documents, more rules and regulations, more decisions to be put into effect. What was the Council of the Society doing when it made recommendations concerning the governance of the Society? We need to go back to the General Chapter of 2009. It all began there. It was at the General Chapter that the recommendation was made that the Superior General, in consultation with the major superiors, will undertake an external review of all levels of government, general, provincial, district, and their relationship with each other, before the next Council of the Society, with a view to continuing structural change. Why did they make that decision? They give the rationale. The Society of Mary is seeking to fulfill its mission in a time of rapid change. With this in mind, we believe that the major challenges to governance in the Society today are to deepen trust and confidence in the way we relate within the Society, to strengthen the connections between the various parts of the Society of Mary, to enhance participation, co-responsibility and agility in decision-making, to improve the allocation of resources throughout the Society. It was because of this great concern that the Society really was coming to a new stage in our history, a time of diminution, a time when we needed to get our resources together in order to face the challenges of this new world, that we turned our mind to the governance, which is so important in proceeding in the way that we organise, the way that we go on mission, the way that we use our resources. Besides the reasons given by the General Chapter for calling for a review of governance, there were practical reasons for the review, which came from a degree of dissatisfaction with the current Marist structures and decision-making processes. The administration and leadership structures were too complex and cumbersome given the size of our society. Leaders are caught up with having to deal with maintenance rather than with mission. Structures that we have are not conducive to swift decision-making and action. And there are, throughout the society, less competent leaders available for important responsibilities. The review of government of the Society of Mary was entrusted to Dr. John Honour. He chose a process which tried to combine sensitivity to the communal and religious nature of the society with relevant research into the governance of organisations. The process for the review included gathering information, reporting, consultation and discussion. Discussion papers were distributed to the society, and most of us were given the opportunity of being consulted through workshops and community meetings. Consultation also occurred through the ARC meetings and the meetings with some provincial councils and provincial chapters. His process aimed to engage the whole Society of Mary. The consultation revealed a wide range of views about the society and its government and structures. His process aimed to engage the whole Society of Mary. The consultation revealed a wide range of views about the society and its government and structures. And while there was a strong consensus that government and structures could be improved and that changes were necessary, there were widely different views of the kinds of changes that should be made and on how those changes could be achieved. The report, the culmination of more than 2 years of research, consultation and discussion, was presented for the consideration of the Council of the Society in October 2013 in Dublin. The recommendations of the report were generally accepted by the Council and proposed to the Superior General, who, with his Council and in collaboration with the major superiors, are now engaged to put those recommendations into reality. The Society, like many other religious institutes in the Church, has come to a critical point in its history. On the one hand, many of our provinces are ageing and diminishing. Some will soon be unable to govern their own affairs. On the other hand, in the younger and growing units, there is a need for human and material resources to support leadership, communities and ministries, and to ensure their stability and growth. The current structures of our society were codified in a time of great growth in the society. They placed great emphasis on co-responsibility, communion in mission and subsidiarity. They are excellent systems and structures, though not all of them have been equally implemented. In a critical time of diminishment and change, however, these systems and structures we find to be less appropriate to our time. The leadership of the society is therefore considerably restricted in its capacity to deal with its current critical situation. There are reasons for believing, however, that government can be made more effective with more collegial and international approaches to decision-making for the good of the whole society. Changing structures alone will not make government more effective. We have to agree on goals, establish good leadership and effective administrative structures if we are to face the challenges of our little society. Dr. John Honor's report recommends two kinds of changes. Changes that can be made to leadership and administration immediately, and secondly, changes that should be made to structures over a period of time. The strategies for a positive future, which we find in the decisions of the 2009 General Chapter, give some indications of the directions for change. Simplify systems and structures of Marist government to make decision-making more agile and effective, and to free up capable Marists for other ministries. Develop a more collegial approach to decision-making, to break down local, global divisions, avoid centralisation, share resources, get subsidiarity right, and increase animation. Where diminishment is inevitable, provide the best care and community for ageing Marists. Place Marist patrimony and priority ministries in good hands. Support the regeneration of Marist mission, and prepare for consolidation of structures when necessary. Where growth is likely, provide all resources possible, spiritual, material, mentoring, administration, to develop leadership, community and ministry, and provide both local and international formation to prepare younger Marists to meet emerging needs. The effects of Dr. Honor's review on the Council of the Society were not only reflected in the recommendations on government, but also in the statement of commitment that the Superior General, his council, and the major superiors made. The acceptance that the diminution of the society will be our reality for many years ahead, and the embracing wholeheartedly of that reality of our being a small congregation in the church. That as a small society, we have limited resources and manpower, and we have to plan, organise, and live and go on mission accordingly. We were struck that in a small society, like the butterfly flapping its wings in the Amazon jungle, a decision made about mission, men and money in one part of the society will more often than not have implications in other units. A change of outlook is therefore demanded from everyone, not only the leadership. The conviction that each and every leader in the society has to have a good understanding and a commitment to the good of the whole society in mind, and that it falls to the leadership collegially to animate, bring about change, and lead the society into renewed, realistic mission for today according to our capabilities. The bulletin from the Council of the Society announced the recommendations that were drawn from the review that were given to the Superior General. To summarise them, they covered recommendations for government and recommendations for systems and structures. The recommendations for government covered these areas: to give priority to animation, to increase the capacity of major superiors, to specify roles and functions in the general administration, and to increase collegiality. With regard to systems and structures, among the recommendations made were: simplify systems of communication, specify delegations of authority and levels of handling decisions, and include this in the training of superiors. Simplify and focus the conduct of chapters, including a more collegial preparation process. Develop resources and consistent protocols for efficient use of email and other IT. Perhaps the most interesting recommendations concern the strengthening of districts and the consolidation of provinces. The recommendations are that the Superior General is to animate a constructive collegial process between relevant units to strengthen the government and operations of the growing provinces and districts in the developing world with human, spirituality and mentoring, and material resources. And the Superior General is to animate a constructive collegial process between Canada, Mexico, and the United States, and between Australia and New Zealand to develop plans that will include priority ministries being collaboratively developed with the possibility of regeneration in these provinces. Aged Marist being offered the best possible care and community. Personnel and material resources continuing to be shared with other parts of the society. A sensitive transition of care and authority when a province is no longer able to govern itself. And the restructuring that develops from these collaborations and transitions. In the last few weeks, the Superior General and the General Administration have been considering ways in which they can put into effect the recommendations made by Dr. John Honour in his review of government, the recommendations that had been accepted by the Council of the Society and handed to the General. The ways in which these recommendations will be put into effect depends not only in the planning but also in the reception. And so we're all involved in renewal of structures, renewal of leadership styles and structures and processes. These structures and processes, however, are only the means for us to be on mission as best we can in these days with the little society that we are. Open to the promptings of the Spirit and responsive according to its capabilities to the needs of God's people.
Let us free our hearts gently and gladly to travel wherever word calls us. This grace we now pray.